All right. Think we're good. Should be. Should be. All right. Just double check that I've got everything that needs to be open. Okay. Yep. We seem to be good. I managed to catch it early this time, but once again, OBS forgot my mic. Keeps happening. Anyway. I'm gonna be working on my commission stuff today. Got it partially set up, and I want to try to get a first draft out today. See how it goes. I'm trying to free up, trying to get things, really get things done at a good schedule so I can get work on other things done and whatnot. But anyway, we'll be working on doing some B-roll stuff as well as the subtitles. I see how things go. How loud is this?
Right between the
I'm gonna turn it down a little bit, but holy crap, it just turned down like crazy for you guys. Good grief. Alright, here's what we'll do. For the sake of this, just so I can hear everything okay stream-wise and whatnot, I'm just gonna turn this down. And then okay, that isn't working. That's much better. I will have to remember to change that later, but for now, that's much better. That's what I forgot. I forgot one of the things I was gonna grab before. I can try to grab it real quick. Shouldn't be too horribly difficult to find. Yeah, there it is. Of course, it's an AVIF file. Why wouldn't it be an AVIF file? So dumb. Gotta change that to PNG or JPEG. We'll just go with PNG because that's what I'm used to doing. There we go. All right.
Okay, you pay me to be on your street
Um. There was something else I forgot. I'll grab it later. Focus on getting this done first. Oh, wait, no, there it is right here. I did not forget it. I'm just not being smart.
I am making the atmosphere more expensive. I am making I am making the atmosphere more expensive. That is my. You pay me to be on your screen and atmosphere modeling. I am making.
Let's see, maybe add a bit of a drop shadow to this.
You pay me to be on your screen.
Yeah, that helps it stand out a bit more.
You pay me to be on your screen and
I just realized that oh, here he is. For whatever reason, the less it's aiming for this specific green color on the key, the more it cuts out of the whole thing. Like default, it's see-through. It's semi-transparent. Relaxed, it's more transparent. But aggressive, it's not transparent at all.
you pay me to be on your screen and
How weird is that? I have never seen a green screen chroma key do that before. That's an interesting one.
atmosphere modeling. I am making the atmosphere more expensive. That is my purpose.
screen is a bit too much, so let's just try lowering the opacity a bit instead. Add a little bit more to this. I have a collection of green screen stuff. Should have one effect that I'm looking for. This'll do. I think it's, yeah, it's the same no matter what, so. Now, should I have it here in the lower corner? I think the upper corner makes more sense. A little bit of a drop shadow to make it stand out a bit more. Oh. I don't know entirely what I'm going to do sound effect wise. I don't know if I'll cover that in the stream. I'm not like super good with sound effects just because it's not something I work with a whole lot. At least not nearly as much as a lot of people would want me to be, or would want me to. I've talked about it before, but I just have I can be rather particular with working with the sound effects. Okay, we need to do a transition here.
By clicking on the stream.
Did this part not get caught in the... Hey, dog. Come here. Here you go. All right. Good girl. All right. You know, I've never been able to get the blur to color to look in a way that I like. Maybe it's just a personal thing. Maybe I just... It's kind of like a dip to fade to black or fade to white. It's kind of like that. I'm not a big fan of it. Hello, Warren. How's it going? Okay, I'm thinking... I need to add an audio transition here. Maybe it's less about having that one be longer and more about the music. Got to turn this down. I think that's pretty good audio-wise. Now we need to keep working on the transition. Did that even do anything? It probably doesn't work too well if the... That's not bad. It's pretty good. Burn chroma. Let's play around with some... Now let's play around with some of the settings. We'll turn the dissolve time down really low. Let's turn it really high. Okay. So basically, the lower the number is, the later into the transition it will actually dissolve. The higher, the sooner. '90's pretty good. I don't know if chromatic aberration really does all that much, but eh. Did glow impact even do anything? I don't think glow impact even does anything with these clips. That actually looked pretty good. I actually really liked that. I think what I'll end up changing is ah. So we don't want the colorize to be too high. That's still too loud. Now, should I do anything to this, or is a regular just kind of like jump cut fine? Because I think the jump cut looks okay. Usually what I'll do with these kind of situations is I'll zoom in on one of the clips, but I've already done that a bit in this video. As you see in here, there's a lot of that throughout this. Zoom in, zoom out, and then it zooms in, and then zoom here, but no zoom there. Zoom here, no zoom there. So I've done it a bunch in this video, so maybe just the plain jump cut will kind of add a bit of variety. But I think it might be fine to leave in. I think right now what I need to do is I think I've got everything cut up It's all chopped up where it needs to be, so it's time to add in audio transitions. There we go.
I'm an atmosphere model, okay? Atmosphere model, okay? You pay me. I'm an atmosphere model, okay? I'm an atmosphere model, okay? You pay. I'm an atmosphere model, okay? Atmosphere model, okay?
Is that a good place for it?
I'm an atmosphere model.
I think it works.
Okay? You pay me to be on your screen and atmosphere modeling. I am making the atmosphere
Or we could just...
model, okay? You pay me.
Yeah, I think that looks better.
Atmosphere model, okay? You pay me.
It lets the scene breathe. Actually, lets it sit on the screen long enough. I think this is better.
Atmosphere model, okay? You pay. I'm an atmosphere model, okay? You pay me to be on your screen and atmosphere modeling. I am making the atmosphere more expensive. That is my purpose.
We don't need any of this, as this is already done. We'll just leave that and then just copy it. hate it when it doesn't save what you do. See, there we go. It's a problem that Adobe has never actually fixed, is that sometimes you'll go into the transcript and you'll change something, and then you click out of it like you're supposed to, and it doesn't save what you just did. It can be really annoying, especially if you made a lot of corrections to a long paragraph, and then it doesn't save any of it, and you have to do it all over again. It's really obnoxious. I don't know why it happens, and I don't know why Adobe hasn't fixed it yet. It's been a problem since day one of the transcript feature.
Oh, that's gonna be the whole freaking. Oh, that's gonna be the whole. Freaking stream there! Oh my god, why you're so disgusting!
It's pretty realistic.
What do you mean it's free realistic? It's expensive. I'm an atmosphere model, okay? You pay me to be on your screen. Be on your screen an atmosphere model. You're making the atmosphere more expensive.
Oh, man. Oh. Oh, man. All right. I feel like I worried for no reason. Like, I spent a lot of time yesterday working out, like, mapping out the plan for this video. And it's only been an hour of in-stream editing it, and like, huh, I've made this much progress already. Now, to be fair, I had already done part of the work, you know, getting the segments I wanted, cutting them up to the places I needed, and adjusting the timing and whatnot. So all I've been doing so far is just adding the stuff I gathered before stream as well, or before today, I should say, to add in the visual segments, and then we just added in the visual segments, cut them up, and then done the working on the subtitles, and that's about it. It's obviously there's still more to do. I'm gonna need to rewatch the video multiple times over, listen through a lot of my sound effect library to come up with ideas. One of the big problems I have is that I don't think of an idea until I see or hear something that sparks it. So I forget that I have certain things that would work well in certain areas. So I have to go through my library of green screen, other visual effects, and sound effects repeatedly to maybe have some ideas pop up of what to put where. Not exactly the most entertaining thing to do, but it's what needs to be done. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have to watch through this a bunch of times, go through my effects library to potentially come up with more ideas of what to add to it. Figure out where I want to put a few sound effects here and there, at the very least. And of course, send the draft in for potential reviews or potential corrections or additions or whatever else needs to change. But it is kind of funny how much of the editing process is watching and rewatching and brainstorming. Unless you're doing a visual effect, that's a lot of tedium, such as making your own green screen or motion tracking or something like that requires you to really mess with keyframes a lot and fine-tune things, or you have a lot of subtitles for a longer video. Unless you have something like that, a lot of the editing process is just rewatching over and over again and just brainstorming and ideas for things. Or at least for me. I know there are some video editors out there who will, their timeline will look a bit different than this. There will probably be things everywhere, chopped up into little pieces and spread all over the place. There will be like, it'll look more like this, where it's shrunk down as much as possible, and every single one of these layers is full of stuff, and there's more layers stacked on top, and there's crap everywhere because they've got constant edits for things to go different places, and this to pop in and that to fly over there, and transitions here and do all that. I'm not a big fan of doing that. That is way too much busy work. And what I mean is there's too much going on. I'm not a fan of that. Both as an editor and as a viewer, I'm not a fan of it. I try in my editing to make sure that while there is some fun stuff mixed in, I try never to take away from the main thing, the main whatever's going on, because that's the whole point of the video, is what is happening. And if that is being taken over by a crazy amount of editing, visual effects, audio, this, that, or the other, then you're taking away from what's supposed to be the main point, and that just defeats the whole purpose of making the video in the first place. Visual hierarchy is very important, and just hierarchy in general. This clip from the stream is the whole point to making this video, so why would I take away from that by making the editing style the main focus? That makes no sense. The editing isn't the core of the clip. The moment from the stream is the core. So I try to keep that as the main part of the hierarchy. But I know there are a lot of shorts and TikTok editors who would disagree with me on that, but I'm sorry if I'm not an ADHD editor. Anyway. I need to mute this, since I haven't changed the audio for it. I need to just mute it so it's not random loud noise happening. Somehow I missed this part.
I'm expensive. I'm an atmosphere bottle. You pay it to be on your screen. An atmosphere bottle. That's my purpose.
Also need to try to do a little bit more in terms of changing the style effects and whatnot on some of the text for the purposes of emphasis. So for example, this bit right here. Oh, there we go. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. We're going to put a transform effect on it. Going to put earthquake effect on it. Hey Zal, how's it going? That might be a bit much. We're going to delete all of these keyframes. and then go in here. Let's try. Looks like we're doing 20 keyframes at a time on this, so let's try. Let's just go all the way down to 5. So 535, 955, 545, 965. 535, 965, 545, 965. Yeah, that's much better. I also want to change the font that we're using. The spider one is looking for. Oh. Silly me. That's better. I think that's pretty good. I don't know if there's anything else I want to add on to it. Yeah, I think it's good. Now, I do want to move it to a different layer so that we don't confuse it with the other bits of text. I was worried of that. I was worried about that. I also need to decide where I want to place the text, but we'll worry about that later. There's actually a reason why I'm specifically changing the scale in this motion section. The reason being, one, I don't want to change it in here because that would mess with the transform effect for the animation. I don't want to change it in here because that would mess with the everything else. The stroke and everything would have to be shifted around to match it. I don't want to mess with it in here because then they could change the centering of the animation. If I were to change the scale, you can kind of, it's not quite, it's not bad. I don't think anything bad is happening, but it can messing with the vector motion can affect the transform effect here so that it's not quite centered on the screen, and also if it's too big it might cut out. I don't know if I'd be able to show it here. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to show it. But sometimes messing with the vector motion here, the words will just start getting cut off. There will be like this invisible wall somewhere, and it'll just start clipping with that. So going down here with the motion, in my experience, has typically worked better. Fewer issues to work with. Now, I do need to also point out, I only ever change the scale in motion, never the position, only the scale. If I want to change the position, I either have the offset for that, which is the main thing I use, or the vector motion. Regular motion, only for scale, vector motion for position. That's my rule of thumb with my subtitles. Through experience, I have run into fewer headaches using that process. Is it perfect? Is it something that would be recommended to you by some, quote, professional or whatever? I don't know. But it's based off of my experience and stuff that I've dealt with over the years. Now, I've still not been able to figure out why Streamlabs will repeat the YouTube chat over and over again. It's getting worse. I'm noticing it's been getting worse. It's happening more often. I don't know why it does that. I have not been able to figure it out because it's not like it's a setting. There is no setting for please repeat the YouTube chat constantly. There's no setting for that. Not that I've seen anyway. Maybe I should look again. Maybe I missed something. I doubt. It may very well be that I need to look into another software. Just drop Streamlabs altogether find something new that is more based on multi-streaming. You know? I mean, maybe keep Streamlabs around for alerts. I don't know, because I don't have alerts happen that often, so I don't get to test them very often. I have no idea how to really test them from YouTube's side. I know they work if I test them in Streamlabs, but I can't really test them from YouTube, so I have no idea. I have no idea if they work or not. Not a clue. Okay, now this is the part where we need to go through and make sure all of the text... Yeah, I need to... I think we need to... We will separate that last word, make it its own separate bit. Come on. There we go. I'm actually genuinely surprised this fit. I really thought I would have to edit this. This one makes more sense. A lot of big words happening in this. Okay, there we go. Now, do we want the subtitles to be at the bottom or at the top? Normally, I put it at the bottom. I am not one of those. I want to be nice. I feel like I tend to be a little too harsh in recent days. I probably watch a few too many negative things, watch a few too many negative videos, and it rubs off on me, so I need to go back to being a nicer person. I am not one of those people who puts the subtitles in the center of the screen. To put it nicely, I do not like that style. I find it very distracting. The subtitles are not the main focus of the video. They should not be center stage. It's like trying to watch a TV show, watching an anime, and having your subtitles in big letters in the middle of the screen. Why would you ever do that? If you're not gonna do that with your television shows, why are you doing it with your YouTube videos? It makes no sense to me. Put the subtitles somewhere else, either at the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen. And if you need the subtitles to be in other specific positions for certain things, do that. Do not put them all in the middle of the dadgum screen, please. It is so annoying. Subtitles serve the purpose of, what's the word I'm looking for? Accessibility. One, people who cannot hear can read the subtitles. Two, when people are watching the video, maybe they don't understand exactly all that's being said. The subtitles are there for that little bit of context. That's it. That is what those are there for. They are not there to take up your entire screen. I mean, what if I left it like this? It blocks Muna's entire face. Her entire face except the forehead is, and a bit of the chin is blocked, but dog repositioned herself. But basically, yeah, the whole face from eyebrows to mouth, it blocks the whole face area. The rest of the head is there, but the face area is entirely blocked. Why would I leave that there? It's aggravating. Now, obviously, it's not the exact center of the screen. It's wherever it decide, Adobe figured at some point to just put it. That is the center of the screen. Not much better, is it? It's really not much better. It's a lot worse. I just don't understand why people do this. I don't. I'm a very, very strong believer that subtitles need to be kept contained. Now, I do have them at a larger size for legibility because they go by really fast. So having them be a bit bigger makes them easier to read quickly. Trying to read that at how fast the subtitles go by.
To be on your screen and atmosphere modeling, I am making the atmosphere more expensive.
Trying to read all of that in the smaller text, possible? Yes. Easy? Not as much. So having the subtitles be, the font size be bigger makes it easier to read quickly. This video is maybe not the best example. There are others that I've worked on where the subtitles go by really, really fast. Somebody's talking super fast. Subtitles are going a mile a minute. So having them be a larger font size makes it easier to read them quickly. Now, I am rather partial to having subtitles be at the lower end of the screen, mostly due to it's what I'm used to with watching anime and whatnot. And most everything, the vast majority of everything will have subtitles be at the bottom. There's also a second reason. YouTube Shorts has its automatically generated captions at the top. So, when the subtitles are at the bottom, they do not clash with the YouTube ones as much. Although that's just a minor thing. I usually will adjust the placement of them primarily based on what is going on. So there's a reason why I'm doing these ones at the top. Normally, I would have these placed at the bottom. However, because I have this one section right here where it's split between top and bottom, I want these ones to be at the top because it creates a sense of visual hierarchy. So that when this part comes up, viewers are used to looking to the top for the subtitles so that they read these first. So they will read the and atmosphere part first and modeling second. It's the pattern. This might sound like I'm trying to dumb it down, but I'm just trying to explain. Kind of break it down for anybody who might watch this for doing their own video editing. So, you know, in case any of those people who get easily butthurt come in and think I'm being condescending, I'm just trying to break this down. I don't know why that thought came across my mind, but I figured I might as well address it when it did. Anyway, yeah, that's why I do it. That's why I'm doing it at the top here, even though I'm doing it at the bottom. Like here, I'm gonna do it at the bottom, obviously, because I need it out of the way. Yeah, it's all a lot of it is all about visual hierarchy. Making sure that things take up space on the screen in a way that does not hurt people's brains. These, I think I will leave in this more in the middle, just because there's not really much of a visual hierarchy thing going on here, so it's okay to leave them more in the middle. That way, viewers' eyes are able to take in the whole thing, kind of more all at once. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna. Well, you know what? I think that works a lot better visually. These ones are going to be a little bit trickier. So I'm going to try right in between Muna's face and what's going on at the bottom of the screen, because both of those are important to context of what's going on. Yeah. I might change some stuff around for these two sections here. Just because there's a lot of emphasis on her saying these two words. I don't know. Oh. I will think about it. Usually I just do like make the words bigger, but I think I need to play around with changing fonts and stuff like that a bit more. Like, what if I were to... Let's say we go in here. Man. feel like the chaos one is not. Why? So dumb. Yeah, that works. That works pretty well. We could still change the font. Yeah, that works so far. Ah. There's still some things I need to work on, I think. Probably add a sound effect here. We could maybe add one here. I'm not really sold on that. Maybe do something with the visuals here. And zoom in towards the face a bit more to add on the emphasis. Maybe add a sound effect here for confusion. Little sparkle ding whatever there for this sparkle visual effect. Add a sound effect for it. Probably put one here. And maybe add my usual closer. Well, what I like to do lately is I'll put a bit of a, when the clip itself is done, I'll have a little bit extra at the end. I'll kind of blur it a bit, and then I'll put this bit here, Muna's name with the Twitch logo. I'll have that kind of be like up the top and then kind of move down to the center. It's kind of like a subtle call to action at the end of the clip. Semi-subtle. I'm not sure what sound effects to put, so I'm hesitating to work on that here, just because it would take a little while to find all the ones I want. could maybe add some sound effects to that as well. I don't know.
Oh, disgusting.
But I think that's pretty good. At least in terms of the visual editing that I'm to do here. Still more audio editing to do, obviously. Adding in some more sound effects in places, but I think that's pretty good. Alright, let's prep on wrapping up here, shall we? Take a look, see what's going on. You know, I really gotta say, I really wish that folks on social media and game journalists would just stop and take a break for a sec, because as I'm opening up a Twitch tab, I'm seeing what I'm seeing what people are up to. I'm just like, there are a lot of I do not have enough money to get all of the games that I want to support to spite the psychos on the internet. There's been like Crimson Desert, Stellar Blade I already have, Pragmata, the new Steamboat Willie art style noir game, mouse PI game. There might be like one or two more that I just can't think of right now. Games that are like good. But, you know, those quote journalists and nonsensical people online have just decided they despise these games, so I buy them. One, because a lot of times I want to play them, but also just to spite those people and to support the game and the developers. But there are so many of them happening all at once that I just can't keep up with it. I don't have the money to get all of these games, let alone the time to play them. Anyway. Not sure. Well, I guess we could just raid Nitya. Why not? Why not? Okay. All right, well, this is for the Twitch side of things, obviously. But thank you, everybody, once again for coming by. I appreciate it, as always. Hope y'all had a fun time. Thanks for hanging out and chatting with me and keeping me company while I got work done. I have no idea what next time is gonna be, just because depends on what the day is. You know, I don't. When's the last day of the month? I'd have to check. Anyway, I have no idea what next week's stream will be. It probably won't be the Top Clips stream. That'll probably be the week after, just because. But we'll see. I don't, based on the days. Anyway. Yeah, until next time, hope y'all have a good one, and I hope to see you all again another time. Bye.